Yo, what's up? It's your boy DJ L7, and once again, the one and only Christopher Leon Johnson in the building. What's up? Thank you very much for coming on. And we got another week of actually political debates. Now, this week is actually a super tight week because this is actually in 2 days. Holy crap! The day after tomorrow is actually election day for the primaries, and that really kind of a lot of times that's um, sometimes even more important than the general election, to tell you the truth, because
Hmm.
the Democrats are just such a shoo-in to win. The primary really is really considered the defining point for a lot of these races, right? There are
Hmm.
some general elections that are competitive, but a lot of them aren't. Anyways,
They're not. They're
they're
not really
not.
competitive.
So
It
let's.
is people just want a primary.
Yeah, yeah.
so, uh,
All right. So go ahead.
so, all right. So, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in for another week. Me, I'm busy today, so it'll be a short. It's gonna be a short episode we have. GOTV week for me, GOTV week for DJ, GOTV week for a lot of people. As everybody know, today is the last day for early voting. Early voting ends at 5 o'clock all over the city. So Monday is an off day for everybody for Geo. Everybody can still GOTV, but you can't vote on Monday. But Tuesday, June 27th, will be primary day from 6 to 9. You can go on, just Google go on the New York City website, BOE website, and look for your polling location to vote. Everybody should go out there and vote because if you don't vote, then your voice doesn't count. So make sure that you guys vote. There's a lot of competitive primaries this year coming up, such as New York 1 between Susan Lee and Chris Marte and Ursula Jung, the 13th race between Marjorie Velazquez, Irene Estrada, and Bernadette Ferrara. And on the Republican side will be George Have, Christy Martamato, and Samantha Zerka. Then in the 29th district, you have Suki Singh, Ethan Felder, and Lynn Shulman, who's the incumbent. The 23rd, we have Linda Lee, Rubaya Rahman, and Steve Behar. The 19th district is the Democratic primary between Christopher Bay and Tony Avella. The ninth district, you have Mr. Yusuf Salam versus
Al Taylor.
Assembly member Inez Dinkins and Assembly member Al Taylor. Just remember,
Yeah.
Krista Richardson Jordan's on the ballot. She dropped out the ballot because she couldn't take the heat with the media. In the
So you're about like halfway through the list, right? But
yeah,
I just want to jump in. The thing is that like I saw you this week. You've put in time working on Susan's campaign. On the wall behind you have Ina Vernikov's shirt right
yeah.
there. And honestly, I have such deep respect for your knowledge of the game. There's no question about it. Now the thing is that when you decide to help these candidates, right? I know you're in Brownsville. We know Susan's actually somewhere else. Also I think you did some stuff with Susan Lee. She's in Manhattan. Is that because there's certain districts or are there certain races that are impacting maybe the control of Working Families Party versus DSA trying to control, um,
Yeah.
right? So what do you think is really on? What do you think is the most important race? I see you putting in your time with Anna and Susan. Are there certain
Oh,
objectives you're trying
the
to achieve? Or
most
go ahead.
important race. That's kind of, it depends how you see it. But if you want to say the most important race, probably is the District 47 race in Brooklyn. That'll be between Ari Kagan versus Anna Bellafor DeFlies, A.B. Pirara, and whoever wins that's going to go against Justin Brandon. Now, there's a big thing over in that area to take out Justin Brandon because Justin Brandon is now the finance chair. Now, when you're the finance chair, you oversee the budget of New York City. So, so I think a lot of people want to take this guy out because he's not doing the right thing for the constituents. It's all about him. And that district is suffering because of it because Justin is by himself. So everybody want to take this guy out. They want this guy to go, and Justin is hanging on for dear life in his district. So that's a big race that everybody's going to be watching up in probably all over the city is the number 47 race. But I'll say another big race I think everybody should be watching out for is the number 13. Now the number 13 is real special because the district is now like a battleground. It's like really gonna be a big battleground seat and much has been Democrat controlled because the racial makeup they have a lot of white people over in that district. And they are real woke, real astute to the crime that's going on in their district and the quality of life. and they don't, and none of those guys don't know how the current council member Marjorie Velasquez is running their district, especially with the whole Bruckner upzoning deal. So that's a big race everybody should be watching out for up in the 13th district. You might have a flip over there because of Lee Zeldin almost won that district over Hochul last year, and Curtis Spiller won that district against Eric Adams last year. So it's a big race to watch.
Okay.
It's two big races to watch.
Now, but you personally decided to put your time into certain campaigns. Was that because of your strong belief in the candidates, or was that because of you thought that they were particularly important, or maybe you looked at and said, I'm trying to achieve this? I don't know.
It's a strong belief in the candidates. There's one person I'm working right now named Jamila Rose. I supposed to go out there today, help her out, but something else came up, so I'm gonna be busy somewhere else.
I want
helping her out.
Yeah, what is
she's running in the 42nd district. So the 42nd district covers Brownsville, Starlet City, Canarsie, Starlet City, East New York, and a little part of East Flatbush. So it's just like it's all over the place. But the main core is East New York. So that district is ran by Charles Barron. As everybody knows, Charles Barron has a big name recognition. He's well known within the Black districts. He's well known within the Black community. He's an activist, politician. He's been having these political seats for years. One time he was city council. Then he went to the state assembly. Now he's back in the city council. So county committee has a big thing trying to take this guy out. What they pushing now is this guy named Christopher Banks. Now, I don't personally like the guy Christopher Banks because I think the guy's an opportunist. And he got mad at me because I'm supporting Jamila. I'm like, well, I can support what I want. I believe in her. I believe that she will win, because a lot of people don't like Barron and she have name recognition. And, just what it is. So I can support what I want to support. So it's another race I'm trying to commit myself on. I committed all week to her campaign. I usually don't do that. I might just do one day and go to other campaigns. But, this time I just want to commit to her campaign. Just try to go hard as much as possible. But probably today I might not be able to because I have other things to handle. And, just like this week, today is going to be all day, busy all day. So that's me.
I hope the rest of my audience is really appreciative of your knowledge as much as I am. I'm so happy.
Hey, no problem.
Stuff, yeah. Here's another question I want to ask. I'm sorry, I'm just.
No. It's all right. Just keep on going because I'm kind of busy.
So let's talk about Julie won yesterday. There was actually a protest going on, and she made her own presentation. Now, a lot of heavyweights came out for her. Grace Mang, John Liu, Brad Lander, Jumaane Williams. Why do you think there was? Maybe they come up for a lot of candidates. I don't know if why do you think that there's so much interest to support
Julie? I'm gonna keep it real. I love Julie, man. Julie's just shout out Julie. I mean, a lot of people might not. I love her. Yeah, I love Julie Wan. I shout Julie Wan. Julie Wan has a big issue, right? Let's go back to history. Julie Wan used to be part of the board of Community Capacity Development. Now, Community Capacity Development is a nonprofit that specializes in cure violence. They're based in Queensborough Projects. Their office is right next to Urban Upbound. That does a lot of.
You usually hate cure violence, so okay.
But I love Julie. I know. Like I said, I don't. I might hate the organization CEO, but I don't hate the people inside. That's kind of stupid. I'm not gonna take it out on somebody in the organization because I don't like the other motherfucking this. It's stupid. That's me. That's my view. But Julie, she sat on the board of CCD. So, and she did a lot of things, other things in the community, like being organized and etc. So what's going on with the whole race with Julie Wan is people are trying to capitalize on her opponent, Haley Kim, is trying to capitalize on the heat that Julie Wan is getting because Julie Wan got heat from the developers. Julie got heat from the developers because they have a big plan of really rezoning, doing things in that district. Remember, Julie Wan district is District 26. It covers Sunnyside. It covers a little part of Woodside. It covers Astoria. It covers big time Long Island City, and then it covers the Queensborough projects. So everybody got to know that there's everybody know if you go in Long Island City, there's a lot of developments that's going on. There's a lot of big time developments that's getting put up, like these big old glass buildings that you have to make like $500,000 a year to live in.
You're saying Haley Kim's being sponsored by the developers?
No, I don't think she could be inspired by the developer, but I think she's trying to capitalize on the backlash you get from the developers to try to take a seat. Because, people might say she might just, you never know. Because
I've been trying to contact Haley Kim. She's also Korean American, as is Julie Wan. but she never got back to me. And also, when I
Yeah,
talked to people in the community, even people that were against Julie Wan were not really that impressed with Haley Kim, just from what I saw. So
yeah, they wasn't.
Haley needs to
I
step
mean,
up, and just don't think that, even though I generally support non-establishment candidates, Haley Kim just, and I have a very similar thing going on in my own district, Jen Gutierrez versus Paperboy Prince. Theo Chino is someone I'm very close to. The fact that he's supporting Paperboy Prince, I've done some work with Paperboy Prince in the past. I'm not completely against him, but I just don't think that even though Jen Gutierrez is an establishment candidate, may be problematic in some ways. I do just find Paperboy Prince I just don't see him as a viable alternative.
yeah,
Not
I
even
don't,
just
I
being
don't see.
elected board member.
Some of these
That's it.
guys are not even viable. We can get into that. A few was another can I want to talk about after Julie Wan. We started the Julie Wan situation while we're here. Like I said, Julie Wan's getting light from the developers. Now, people got to say what happened in 2021, right? 2021.
Oh, one last thing I want to add to that is Julie Wan actually, there was other people that was involved in the fight against the innovation, and
She was.
several people have told me that Julie Wan fought much harder against the developers than people like Tiffany Caban. There was other
Yeah,
names
she
that were
did.
lined up,
She
and yeah,
did.
so Julie
Yeah.
Wan got a lot of credit for that. So, respect for that.
Let's talk about that. Let's get into that right now with Julie because I'm want to talk about this more because people might understand this. Now, make sure you put Julie on the title because it's gonna get a lot of views. Make sure you put Julie on because everybody's gonna watch this. Now, Julie won 2021. That time the council member name was Jimmy Van Brammer. Jimmy Van Brammer got term limited because of the law. Term limits are 2 terms, and he got termed out. So he ran for Queensborough president. He got sadly rejected because the unions didn't like him. They saw the guy was a fucking fraud. A lot of things. So the District 26 came an open seat. County committee backed up Ebony Young. The county committee, all the developers, all the PACs, they backed up this lady named Ebony Young. Ebony Young is an African American lady. They backed her for city council. They wanted her to take the seat. Now, but she lost to Julie Wan. Ebony Young is now the deputy Queensborough president, serving under Queensborough president Donovan Richards Jr. So what's going on is hello?
No, I'm here. Yeah, I just lost
Yeah,
video
so
feed
what's
on you,
going on is
but I'm
the
still here.
developers they donate to they didn't donate to Julie Warren's campaign, but they donate to Ebony Young's campaign. But you know how they are with the lobbyists, they still want their business in that district. So it's like it doesn't matter. It's like the way they see it doesn't matter. We lost, we're still going to win. And they're calling our office and her husband's office saying that we want rezonings in this rezoning so we could put our all day. Yeah, I'll be there. We want the rezonings, and she's saying no. So you know how they are. If you're elected official and you say no to the developers, they're gonna try to ruin you. So this is what happened with that article, like early this year in the wintertime, saying that Julie Wan husband doing this and Julie Wan's
Yeah, I saw that.
abusive
Oh
and
yeah, they've been dirty now.
all
Yeah, I
that.
just seen that recently. Yeah, that has been
Yeah,
popping up. What about
all
that?
that.
That's her husband. That's not even her, but
Yeah, but that's the game they play. If you don't buck to these developers, you don't buck to these nonprofits, you don't buck these special interests, they're gonna bury you. Cool, got you. Yeah, they're gonna bury you.
Let's go then. Yeah.
They
Um,
they
but the
they
thing is that
will
also I find
they will smear you. So
I
that's the
feel
thing
you.
with
Yep.
Julie. That's the thing what's going on. It's not about Julie Wan's a real crook or her husband's a real crook. It's if you don't buck to these people, they're gonna bury you. They'll say, oh, you pick your nose.
No,
Oh,
but okay.
Julie
So,
Wan
but
were
here, okay,
yeah.
there is an industry, and you notice that the media only covers, or like the narrative is about Julie Wan's husband, which really may be relevant, not as relevant as some other things, right? When we had that protest yesterday, right? Yeah, the people
Mm-hmm.
on the protest side had some decent points, and honestly, if I had been in Julie Wan's place, I would have invited some of the protesters in to just speak for a couple of moments to say their concerns. I would have responded right to their concerns right there live in person. Instead, they were shut out on the side, and also looks kind of
Mm-hmm.
strange when you have one of your former campaign managers outside of your event starting something called a campaign workers union and talking about how you were mistreated. So look, there's real problems with Julie Wan as well, but just because her opponent Haley Kim does not really even stand up, even despite those problems, it's not really. So Julie One, I know that there's some good things about it. I know there's other dirty things going on. I'm sorry about the dirty games they're playing against you, Julie One, because I don't think that's fair the way they're attacking your family. That's kind of effed up. That's
Yeah.
really not cool. Yeah, they're trying to get into your head. That's bad. But as in terms of just policy, as in terms of the way that you run your operation, you know, I know you're trying the best you can, but we need a more open. We need to more have more discussion and stop shutting people out and playing these power games. I get it too, though. You know what I mean? So, but that's very valuable information, and thank you so much for giving Julie One a fair shake versus these developers that are trying to run their own BS narrative, which is really whack.
Yeah, I think she wasn't out there. She wasn't out there. Yeah, she wasn't out there. You are.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about just about my race right here too. About Jen Gutierrez. What do you and
Oh, I love Jen. I love Jen. Yeah, I love Jen Gutierrez. I shout to Jen Gutierrez. I love her. But yeah, I mean, I support. It's just like the thing is, she's not standing up for certain things. She's not standing up for certain things. I know who's really controlling that. Councilman Sandy Nurse is controlling that situation, but she's not standing up for certain things. She's a new mother, to be exact. You know, and there's certain things, like I said, like she's not standing up for, and it's really getting me. It really bothers me. Like intro 632, like you got a kid. Like, and I asked Jennifer, like, how will you feel if a pedophile lived next to your kid? You know, she don't want it. She doesn't want to answer anything. You know, I think she have a great heart. I'm not gonna knock that down. You know, she won to serve her district. You know, she came from the Brooklyn. She was the chief of staff to the Brooklyn Borough president, Antonio Reynoso. But you know, she has to stand up on her own 2 feet for certain things, even if that's going to piss off certain her colleagues. Because recently she voted, she abstained from her vote. She abstained from the injury hatred vote. And I'm like, huh?
Oh, in Jen Gutierrez's favor, just so you know too, you know, besides her position policies, which I think, you know, thanks for pointing those out. I've actually tried to contact her once, and she has responded. So she was like, "Yeah, I'm busy right now, but let's get back in a month or something." I was going to get back with her, but she's not like completely unresponsive like a lot of these other politicians. So that's kind of cool. So we're gonna see. Nobody's perfect. Interesting that the Sandy Nurse thing comes. Yeah, there's actually that's going on locally as well too. Oh, Sandy Nurse actually started to do some community stuff with some artists and stuff over here. I know she's also been involved with the Mayday space, but she's actually branched out to work with Hip Hop Never Die and Stand for Read and stuff. So that was it, or some kind of Brooklyn Yacht Club or something. So that was interesting. She's has that association. Yeah.
Just the thing. I mean,
Sandy Nurse and Jen Gutierrez, are they a package, or are they kind of like their own ships, or what do you think?
They technically they're their own women's, but they come both from Reynoso. That's the thing. They both affiliated with Reynoso. Reynoso, that time he was city council, he was the chair of sanitation. And he funded City Nurse nonprofit a few times called BK Rock. Even under the discretionary money packaging, discretionary money give out, if you go on the city council website for expenses, he donated the BK Rock, which was ran by Sandy Nurse at that time. Sandy Nurse, he actually put as a CO. Like, you know, he put like something on a package named code 2, like CO. He put as a CO on the discretionary money give out. So they really close. You know, he gave money to BK Rock because they care about environmental racism. BK Rock, they deal with composting. They do compost stuff, and you turn to other things. I'm not a big fan. So this thing with her.
Composting, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
Either way, but now let's move on to another thing that actually you've been working on, very cool, and we'll talk about a race right quick. Allie Ryan, who I'm a big fan of. Not sure how you feel.
Versus Carolina. I met Allie Ryan a few times. Allie Ryan out there for a few fights with the developers like that, but I don't think she has a chance.
I don't think so.
Carolina, you know, the thing about I love Carolina. Carlita, my girl, I love what she does. You know, she should have been in Congress right now. I didn't endorse her, but I want to be in Congress. Say they Yuli knew. I don't know, but it's what it is. Carlina is just too strong. Carlina is too respected by a lot of people. A lot of people love Carlina. Carlina know how to capitalize on opportunities. She loves the camera, and that's not good when you're not. And a person is not like running against a person like that. It's not from the camera. It's not from the camera. So a person like Carlina, as you see, she's all over the camera. Even she lost Congress, she's still a little camera. And Carlina did certain things in the district. That's what it is, and you can't knock it down.
But
Of
you're
course,
right.
the
Yeah,
issue.
I
Yeah,
agree with that assessment, but I think that Allie's cool because she pushes certain issues. One of them is going to be, like she's very environmentalist, but another one is the e-bikes. I think she had a pretty solid
yeah.
position on e-bikes. I don't know if Carlina's picked up a similar position. I'm not following her as closely.
I don't think
But you
so. To
also
be
have,
honest with you, a lot of these members, yeah, let's talk. A lot of these members don't. They won't do it. I'll get into that later on, but I think because of the money and the people that's behind the e-bike stuff,
hmm,
and Carly don't want to shake that apple cart. Carlina lives in the Lower East Side. Now, most likely, there's a few people live in the Lower East Side, and I think she's scared of that primary. Like I said, special interest could put someone against her and she lose her job. But
wait,
it's
which
good that a
primary?
person,
You mean the one she's in
the
now?
number two, yeah,
She's
she's
gonna
right,
win,
yeah,
man. Who's
she's
gonna
gonna
beat her?
win.
Who else is
I
running
don't
against
think
her
so.
besides Allie?
Nobody. So 1-on-1 this time. 1-on-1.
Carlene is very, very, and if you look at the past
Strong.
numbers, it's very hard to believe that Allie would win this. I mean, but it's cool that she's pushing these issues, right?
Yeah,
So
it's good. And it's good that Carlina showed up to these forums and debates because she could have gave them fingers saying, "No, I'm not going. I don't need to show up." You know what I mean? Unlike certain these opponents that will cite I'm not going to say because I won't get our count flag to not show up to the debates. So, but at least she showed up to these debates, and we should give respect to the community by showing up. People can't miss a thing.
yeah, that's cool. Hey, props out to you, Carlina. Yeah, we don't want to be on everything, but whenever you show up to a debate and stuff like that, I really appreciate that. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, man. So, what about the e-bikes and stuff? I think you released your own recommendations for e-bikes.
Huh?
I know you testified in front of city council several times, and then I think you also released your own recommendations for e-bikes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was crazy thing. So
Everybody know this week, last week, 4 people in Chinatown passed away. They lost their job. They lost their lives because of an e-bike fire that happened at 80 Madison Street. Funny thing happened to this last week was another fire occurred in 80 Madison Street.
Yeah.
So this is what's going. I mean, it's kind of, I think it's a cover up. That's my feeling. But this week there was a hearing that was for electric vehicles. It wasn't about the e-bikes. It was about electric vehicles. So the thing was 2 hours. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
So just to talk about what Chris was saying, the thing is that this fire, right? The first fire in Chinatown at this one location was literally, I think they did the investigation and it was shown to be from an electric bike. They tried to recharge the battery and it caused a fire. Later on that week, the same place, they were charging up another bike battery, and then there was another explosion, and then another fire. You know what I mean? So this is very concerning, right? Next week is going to be another fire. Come on now. So yeah, right now, Allie Ryan actually also, I don't even remember exactly, but I think there was multiple people who've released some recommendations for electric vehicles. And some of those make sense. Some of those are. I'm generally less regulation minded, but their safety does make a difference, right? Then when they take a look at the stairs where everybody was tripping, even just a half an inch, as in terms of like the levels, can drastically change, right? Accident patterns and things like that. So, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so like that. So this week there was about electric vehicles. It was 2 hours. Also, I was still my niece. I'm trying to take care of right now. So it was 2 hours long for the hearing. It's from the 23rd of this week, 6/23/33. Transportation Committee hosted by chaired by Sabina Brooke Powers. So I testified about this, and I said that we need a ban, or we need suspension of the lithium-ion batteries until we do research, investigation, research, and then probably make a solution to the problem. So I made a thing about that. I did it virtually because I was helping out Kansas City Council while I was there, so I was doing 2 things at one time. But I had to make sure to get my piece, say my stuff at that hearing. But that's how I feel. I mean, it should be banned. I think, but like I said, people get a lot. The problem is with the e-bike fires is a lot of these council members and a lot of these people are getting bought up by the special interests. And they're captured by the special interests, such as transportation alternatives. So this is what's going on, and a lot of them want to shake that apple cart because they know what's going to happen to them. They scared of that primary, and they can lose their job, so they don't want to shake the apple cart. So that's what's going on. That's my feeling about this stuff. As everybody know, that Transalt and Open plans are funded by Uber and Lyft and Grubhub and DoorDash. And Uber and Lyft uses a lot of e-bikes to deliver their stuff, and Grubhub and DoorDash, especially the ones, especially the one with the electric bike batteries. So of course they don't want to shake that apple cart, and they'll find a way to defend it and say, well, you just gotta just BS way of trying to curb the situation. A lot of these people that do the services uses those bikes. And Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and Grubhub rely on quotas. They rely on quotas to deliver those numbers to the investors. Now, let's say out of this week, Uber and Lyft do like 200,000 deliveries. Now, let's say about out of those numbers, 50,000 of those deliveries are done by the e-bike batteries with the lithium-ion battery we attach on the pedal bike to make it go faster. Now, if we suspend them, or you ban those lithium-ion batteries, and let's say out of 50,000, you got to subtract 50,000 out of $200,000, $2,000 a week. Now you're at 150,000. Now the less deliveries you make total a week, they see how they see it, the less money you get from the investors. So they feel that if this happens, they're gonna lose a lot of money. Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, and DoorDash lose a lot of money from the investors every week, and they might start laying people off, or they have to take a pay cut. The CEOs have to take pay cuts, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah,
so prevent that.
Right? Yeah, can pump money. They can see that, oh, if I lose these electric bikes, I would lose this much revenue. So I'm gonna take $1 million, right? I'm gonna lose $5 million, right, in revenue. So I'm going to put $1 million into marketing and lobbying for this particular, right, to prevent this change from happening. But who's going to lobby for the safety, right? Either you have the dead victims of those people who died in Chinatown, right? Those 4 dead people, their family's going to have to go against the whole entire industry with millions of dollars. You cannot win. It's very tough to beat the industry. That's why we need responsible people. Like, honestly, thanks again for yourself. People like yourself that actually give a damn. You know what I mean, are willing to get involved and work for without pay, you know what I mean, or, recognition to really, or, well, hopefully we can change that, but try to achieve this change and, really protect lives. That's pretty cool, man. And
yeah, it is.
Again, you're giving blood every week.
Thank you, man.
This guy's really humanitarian. I like that.
Yeah.
So, the Chinatown fire, it's tragic that these things keep happening, often are most vulnerable to people that are poor, that are trying to make a living for themselves. Delivery job's not the most easy job, and appreciate it. Yeah.
We do. I really appreciate it, though.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah. So let's talk about I think we even mentioned it last week, but ranked choice voting. A lot of people have been promoting that for a while. We've gone through a second cycle of ranked choice voting here in New York City, and we can see, I've seen a couple people say like, oh, rank me number 2, right? Yeah. But I haven't really seen ranked choice voting really push issues, or, I think ranked choice voting was also tried to use to improve the chances for third-party candidates to not be a wasted vote. But there's a lot of other mechanisms that I think were used, such as differential ballot petitioning, requirements. How many people did they get kicked off of how many people were prevented from running this time? 60? There's a bunch of people got thrown off the ballot.
Yeah, because of petitioning and legal situations. Now, even if some people get on the ballot because of legal, I don't know about Hiram Montserrat. What's going on Hiram Montserrat is Hiram Montserrat got convicted for like embezzlement. He got convicted for like stealing money from the discretionary funding when he was city council. So he got convicted for a felony. So the law is, because the city council, to help with Justin Brandon key powers, was if you got convicted for a felony while being elected official for like public corruption, you can't run for city council. Now, Hiram got on the ballot, but everybody know how that goes. Hiram Montserrat because 2021 it was an open seat, so they made sure that Hiram didn't get on the ballot. They sued. They used that law to knock him off the ballot. But this time, Hiram got on the ballot, but he didn't get a lot of opposition because of what's going on with the elected officials. Guys getting heat like George Santos and Warren Ardilla and what's the other guy named up in upstate, Pat Burke. So they couldn't really try to get this guy on the ballot, but they got someone, I think, in the community to strike that provision to get him off the ballot. And they go into a lot of legal stuff. I think so. By the time, even if Hiram could legally run, his name will be on the ballot because the ballot's already sent out. The absentee ballot's already sent out, and everything's already. I don't know about that K. I think he got knocked up. I don't know what's going on, but I got to see what happens during. But there's a few people that got knocked off because of petitioning, like the anti people. I'm not gonna say the word because I'm gonna get attacked. Or like Steve Spear, he got knocked off the ballot. He was trying to doesn't work like that. But a lot of people got knocked off the ballot because of petitioning, or some people just.
Yeah, so the thing is that, there's besides ranked choice voting, there's other mechanisms that, certain establishment, and I'm not saying that everybody who who submitted petitions incorrectly, right, deserves to run, but there's some people where we're definitely, they use these rules as another barrier to keep people from running for office. So there's a lot of other ways besides ranked choice voting that the system can be manipulated, and people need to, instead of just putting all their hopes in. And, I think this is a big problem for the progressive left in general, less so on the right, but also they have, all the political groups suffer from this. A lot of them follow some charismatic leader with some untested theory, right, believing that's going to be the holy grail and solve all the problems. Yeah, you got to really understand the situation first. So, appreciate that, yeah? Now, go ahead.
Yeah, they do. I mean, like, there's a few people, like I said, they should not be following, but they follow anyway. Just like, I think they're stupid.
Now, one thing, thanks for actually mentioning Juan Ardilla, because actually that was one of the things that I did encounter this week that I wanted to ask you about, right? Now, it seems like Juan Ardilla, that he's in huge trouble. Many prominent lawmakers have come out, even AOC has come out and condemned him and said that they asked him to resign. Pretty serious, right? But Juan Ardilla is still in there, and I think that he recently posted on his Twitter that he was responsible for having like 3 or 4 bills passed or something.
He jumped on bills like what happened. I don't think he sponsored any, like he prime sponsors any bills and got passed. He co-sponsored bills that got passed. So you could jump on bills, say I support it. That's what happened with him. Even like Kristen Gonzalez, I love Kristen. I know what's going on between me and Kristen because of DSA, and they're like, oh fuck Chris, whatever, because I know what's going on. But I don't hate Kristen, so I didn't go against her campaign. But Kristen called his ass out in a community board meeting a few months back, saying like, well, yeah, the bills got passed. The bill got passed in the state assembly through governor, but you had no real stake in that bill. You just jumped on the bill. You didn't sponsor the bill. Like you just jumped on, co-sponsor the bill, and that's what it is. Yeah. It's like you didn't do the work. You just jumped. You put your name on a project, and you got the credit, and you got the credit for it. So that's the thing we want. Kristen Gonzalez, state senator for Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, called the shit out on community board too. So
good to know. Yeah, I could see Juan still in fight mode though, and he ain't giving up. So I like fighters. We'll see what's up, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes we get knocked down, but we get back up. So we'll see what's up.
That's life. That's life is.
So hopefully people get changed by experience for the better. We'll see. Anything else going on? There was something.
BLEXIT.
Oh yeah, BLEXIT's going on. Woo! We just had a meeting yesterday. Actually, I posted something on my Facebook, and the thing is that BLEXIT
3 pictures
is actually at there's some deep concerns going on. The allegations that are in this video that I'm about to come out with show that the Nationals was trying to bully locals. They wanted them to give them all the contact information, didn't want to do anything in return. They were treated disrespectfully, and that's all coming out. So, this happens in all the organizations. And before I jump to a similar but related issue, right? Yeah, which I definitely want to get your input on. Any questions about the BLEXIT situation or what's going on?
No, really, I know what's going on. I know what happened. It was a line the grailing. Like I said before, I've told you people before multiple times. Very soon, they're going to get rid of Madeline Breen. They will get rid of her for somebody younger and more marketable. So if she gets rid of, I told you guys before, they're going to get rid of her for somebody more younger and more marketable.
You know, actually,
Madeline,
just to let you know about something behind the scenes. Okay, this is even crazier, and it's pretty nasty. Madeline Brame has her own organization called like Victims' Rights or something like that. In a
yeah.
behind-the-scenes move, they actually got her kicked out of her own organization. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to start to decrease her standing. I think there's ideas that nationals might be behind that. So there's some stuff getting cooked up in the background that's quite interesting.
What do you mean? Yeah, no, it's some other stuff that's going on. I know what's going on with Victim Rights Council. I don't think BLEXIT got it. I think, yeah, they was part of getting her kicked out. But there's other thing that's going on with Madeline Brame that I cannot say on camera because I got the scoop from somebody in the New York GOP.
Okay.
Somebody that's in the GOP, New York GOP, gave me some info about Madeline Brame.
Things are going down. I don't know. Thank God I know
It,
you.
Madeline
We're gonna talk about
Brame,
this later.
I
Something's
cannot say it on camera. I cannot say. I'll tell you off the guys. I cannot say it on camera because there's somebody that's well known in the New York GOP, well known that like I said, they're well known with the New York GOP. They gave me a call and saying we got this about Madeline, and you know Madeline's gonna learn because Madeline fucked up. She should never done what she done to them. So Madeline is going very soon. It's going to come out by Madeline. She's going to have a day of reckoning because she pissed off the wrong people. Madeline pissed off the wrong people.
There's some criticism about Madeline that you know, even myself, there's some things that you know, I see you know, no, like I said, no one's perfect, but I do have to give, as in terms of like the BLEXIT New York, the way that I've seen things run, they always make a point of saying, look, you know, this is just you know, we agree with some of their ideas, but we're not really completely married to everything that they say. We're just here to try to present an alternative, and I like that about them. So they've never really kind of been, you know, I'd say blind pushers of the brand. They've always taken a skeptical kind of like a local first. We're here to take care of you, and I like the way that they manage it here. That's why I'm more loyal to locals than I am to the nationals, because nationals.
Yeah, and nationals like BLEXIT is part of like just going back. BLEXIT is part of Turning Point USA. That's the problem. Turning Point USA is ran by Charlie Kirk. Turning Point USA relies on a lot of donations. They get a lot from foundations and etc. So of course they got their, and especially in New York City, it's a big media market. So of course they want to capitalize on a big media market. Now with Madeline Brame, if she was like in like Birmingham, Alabama, where it's not big media market, they would let her rock. They will let her live. But if it's in New York City, they're gonna try to get rid of her. They're gonna try to get rid of a person like her. She's old. She's old. She speaks with a lot of hatred. She speaks with a lot of divisiveness. She doesn't have real self-awareness. And, you know, I think they see that, especially what happened with the Zeldin campaign, how she allegedly carried the flag of the Zeldin campaign.
They want a superficial, someone who looks a certain way, someone who's going to connect with the middle class, someone who's going to be not, you know, offensive. And there's certain realities they won't talk about.
Yeah. Now, there's certain, like I said, the thing is she's conservative. And the thing is, like there's people that are conservative. Like, what's her name? She's in the Bronx. I love her. Her name is Pira Calino. Pira is a reverend, and she's a lawyer. She ran for Congress, but she got knocked off the ballot because some little shenanigans from Avery Piara's campaign manager. That's why I said I will never tell people I'm gonna tell people right now on this podcast, do not vote for Avery Piara in the 47th race. And I'll break that down. We want me off the record, but I could break down to you because this piece of shit campaign manager, Nicholas Chambrius, piece of shit. Now, he knocked Pierre off the ballot, but let's go back to the conservatism. You could be conservative and talk about bail reform and quality of life and abortion and gun rights and family values and anything about being conservative. But if you start spreading that message with hatred and you start spreading that message with divisiveness, nobody's going to take you seriously. It's just like anything. If you start spreading messages with hatred and divisiveness, no one's going to take your message seriously. You got to spread your message with love. Pierre spreads a message with love. Tina Forte spread a message with love. Now, with Madeline Brame, she didn't do it at all. She never did. It was just like brag. And I'm like, well, what the fuck does brag have to do with something in?
I think people behind the scenes are telling her that they want her to talk about brag. That's personally, I think they're
I
they
think
say
they
we'll let you
do.
on. We have this thing that we want from you. We're going for this guy. Let's play this little, trade here.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be where that you just talk about a guy like that, like he's to blame for all the problems in New York State. I never. So just the thing with her, it's just like she just say a message of a lot of hatred and a lot of divisiveness, and nobody takes it seriously. You know what I mean? That's the thing with her. They just using her because she's black and she's willing to push that anti-black message. So that's the thing with her. Now, like I said before, New York City is a big media market, and they want to capitalize on that media market. And they see that they probably had to get somebody younger to push that message because they want to make a lot of money. They want to show they don't like we got this and that, and we can't do it with Madeline. So they're going to find someone.
One media market in the nation. 8.5 million people here. LA has 4. Chicago has 2. We are bigger than the second and third markets combined. We are number 1. That's really undeniable. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. That's what's up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yo, actually, now the fact that we're talking about BLEXIT for a moment actually bring me to a similar thing, right? The way, one thing that I told, because we had a meeting yesterday, we also went to the Walkaway campaign by Brandon Straka, who's also a similar idea to see if there's a way we could branch into an alternative, right, that will give us a, maybe, we have a contingency plan in case the BLEXIT thing, ends up going south. So,
yeah.
But the thing is that one thing that's interesting is, right, going back to the Julie 1 campaign and tying it all together, one of the guy outside the office, I actually met that guy. You should see him in my video on the Starbucks protest. And the thing is that he has a new thing where he's starting a campaign workers union. So I got to chat with him a little bit. Hopefully we'll be talking about that further. Another thing interesting at this guy from the campaign workers union, I believe he's associated with DSA. So there is a lot of people like you can see DSA people, even though Julie 1 is not technically a DSA candidate, you can see that there's staff interchanging between their offices and stuff like that. That's also something that it's just nice to be aware of.
Like speaking of DSA, while we're here, DSA they're not good people. They're not bad people. Sorry about that. I mean, say good people. I said bad people. They're not bad people. But there's certain members, like I said, they are good people, and they want to do the right thing. They believe in the right thing they believe in certain things. But it's the leadership. The leadership is the issue.
The members
and everybody got to know it's the leadership.
I had a hard time with Bright Lynn yesterday. We also had this guy from the DSA members are recognizing me. So the thing is that the leadership can play their little games, but I don't really care about them. It's never been about them. I'm about the little people. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
The campaign workers, a union, I think is very interesting because I like the BLEXIT and the what I told Dion yesterday was I said I don't care if it's Walkaway or BLEXIT. They don't get to do anything in New York right out here without us being involved. Don't even think first. So if BLEXIT wants to come back to New York and treat us like that, I'll kick them right out. You know what I mean? And the same thing for Walkaway too. So I really like, and the idea of a campaign workers union, I'm so happy about that because there's a lot of things they do to us like NDAs, they use us and throw us away. People that have worked on former campaigns, right, who you don't get to hear from, we can start to educate each other. Like say, don't sign no NDAs. That's not cool. There's certain, if they're gonna ask you to do certain things, it's okay to ask for certain things back. Like, maybe a voice in policy, things like that, which the media works together to keep us out of. So I'm very excited about that. And I hope that he will be on the program soon. I think that's really possibly groundbreaking. It may have been tried before, but I'm going to really push it to see if we can really, for the 24 election cycle, I'm going to actually enter all the groups and push this particular idea. I could tell already that they're going to be trying to ban me from everything because of that. But
yeah,
let's go. But campaign workers, have you ever met that guy? Have this ever?
I've never met the guy before. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I said I never met the guy before, but I feel his pain about campaign workers. Now, like, and the thing I try to tell people is like, never work on a campaign unless you really believe in that person, or you're getting something in return, like, or the person treats you well. Other than that, do not work on a campaign because majority there are times that you will be abused by you might be abused by the candidate, or you might be abused by the campaign team while they're getting paid and you're not getting paid nothing, or you might get paid pennies to the dollar. So you have to be real careful with that.
Yeah, they'll squeeze you for everything they can squeeze you for. If you say, I'm going to give you this, they'll just take it. You know what I mean? So don't.
You just take it. So you have to be careful. Like,
Yeah.
make sure you have a reason. Sometimes you have make sure you have a real reason of supporting somebody. And if they really, if you can feel, if you believe that they're going to do it for you if they get elected, because some majority of the time that some of these people they don't do anything they going to promise you. They just want you to not. They just want you to knock on doors for them, or the heart and the thing people got to stand is petitioning. They just want
Yeah.
you to go petition for them. So you have to be real careful of that, especially when it comes to petition time. Do not go out in the hot sun. Do not go out in the winter time in the freezing cold
They
and
also want you
petition
to go into
someone.
the like they'll also send you into like the housing project stuff like that, right? Yeah. They'll
Was
yeah.
real dangerous. Real
There is
dangerous.
people getting shot there on a daily basis, right? Yeah, but they don't have to go in there, but they want you to go in there. It doesn't look so
Yeah.
prim and proper for them to have to show up. You know, I mean, what is, man? That's not
Yeah.
leadership. Yeah,
Not
lead
leadership
from
at
the
all.
front, not from the back. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, actually, I would love to. When I do the one, I'm supposed to do one-on-one interview. I think it would be. Maybe I could even include you for that one. Just your depth of
Yeah.
knowledge and having worked on so many campaigns. I think in this cycle you worked on like 4 or 5 directly, maybe even
Yeah.
more. How,
Yeah.
Vernikov, Jamila locally, Susan, both Susans. Wow. You have a big number here. So you're picking up a lot of experience very quickly too. A lot of these other
Yeah.
people, you'll pick up in one campaign season what other people take 2 or 3 seasons to learn because you work on so
Yeah.
many campaigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll even see things behind the scenes, right, or the connections that other people just
Yeah.
don't have any clue about. So that's
Mm-hmm.
amazing, man. All right, so
Yeah.
yeah, the campaign work review, I'm super excited about that one, and for the 24 election cycle, I think that's going to be
Mm-hmm.
once again New York. Hopefully, people on the ground, dedicated activists, can really band together with our groups and make sure that our issues are addressed on a national level and stop using us. Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. So. You've been warned, campaign consultants and managers. Anyway,
Yeah. And I tell people this. Sometimes and I'll tell people this big hack. Sometimes work on the candidate's campaign that you do research on that you feel that let's say that you feel that they even they might not win, they're gonna get a job in the government because and I'm gonna tell you this right, the biggest hack ever is to work on a candidate's campaign that has experience in government. They could be a former elected official, they could be a lobbyist, they could be a consultant. They could be an organizer that's affiliated with the government-funded nonprofits. Try to work on it, especially if you want to build to be interested in city council, or you might want some access. Because if they don't, even if they don't win the election, and you stay loyal to them, majority of the time you'll have a contact with them. It could be a formula. And if they get in, you never know. You might get a job in that administration, and they might hook up with a job with them. So you never know. So, and you could, and especially if you might want to bill into the city council, they could probably help get it, like, or the state assembly, they could probably help to get it sponsored by somebody because they might know somebody to get it sponsored. So that's a big hack. This is a big tip for a lot of people. Sometimes work out with the little people sometimes who don't work out, just don't work with the county back candidate because these days, sometimes the county back candidate never wins the races. So always do that. And I'm gonna tell people this right now: always give everybody benefit of the doubt. Always judge a candidate on what you know about them, what you see with them. Never judge a candidate because everybody else saying something about them. Because sometimes you got to see where that's coming from. This is what happened to me with Joanne Areola. People were saying that stuff about Joanne Areola, alleging that she was racist and all that shit like that. That lady is far from racist. That lady was far from racist. The people that was spreading those lies about Joe Ariola are the people that was part of DSA, and they wanted a Felicia Singh win. So you have to be real careful of who's saying stuff about a candidate running for office, especially if it's about negative stuff, because sometimes it could be targeted, make sure they don't win.
yeah, and
So you
even
have
if
to,
they mean well, like if their money is at stake, or if they're like the relationships and stuff like that, they can even be blinded by that. A lot of times it is on purpose, but even on a subconscious level, a lot of people just end up doing that they're what do they call it? Willful ignorance, or
yeah,
they don't see certain things, or they deliberately emphasize certain things over others, especially when they're in a race, especially when they're at war. It's win or lose, so they just go for it. And certain people get sold out. So great analysis, man. Christopher Leon Johnson, as always. Hope I just checked the chat. I don't see anybody in the chat. People will be watching later. The series is doing pretty well. People do tune in later and check it out.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. If you guys have anything you want us to talk about, please put it in the comments or something, and we'll try to address it on next week's show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else you want to get to this week, Chris?
Really, basically, that's all. If you want to talk about anything else, but like I said, campaign is GOTV week for me. Is GOTV elaborate about this? The last two, last day or early voting. Today's tomorrow, but everybody will be out there probably knock on the door trying to get the last final vote. But Tuesday is election day, so take everybody told before election day is Tuesday. Please go out there and please support your candidates. Please vote. Even if you have to write someone in, go out and vote. As a heads up, there's if you live in Queens, there's a Queens district attorney race between Linda Katz, George Grasso, and DB Daniels. In the Bronx, there's a DA race between Tess Cohen and what's her name, Tess Cohen and Darcel Clark. And then you have various judges races all over the city. All 5 boroughs have judge races.
Yeah, just to let you know, I just wanted to catch you guys up quick on the Reverend Keith Gadsden and Nolan Farrell incident.
Yeah.
This is a tough one, yeah. So on the 20th, the thing is that Reverend Al Sharpton was supposed to come out, and honestly, we had heard that Melinda Katz was coming out as well. We got our hopes up that the exoneration would come just before, Election Day, where we could all have a happy story and walk away with. But the fact of the matter is that Nolan Farrell, instead of exoneration, they said that they would expunge his record, which is actually a redefinition in order to change certain things, and potential payouts. Reverend Keith Gadsden, they're actually they're trying to delay another meeting with the people until next week. So
wow.
Yeah, they keep and that's after the primary, right? So they're really and they did this last year. We've been working on this for several years. So the fact of the matter is that, honestly, it's not looking good. They may do it, but they're going to try to do it on their terms.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking. We're actually really broken up about it behind the scenes. I know my man Nolan Farrell went out yesterday to Invent in Manhattan trying to lobby for his cause. I know Reverend Keith Gadsden's trying to go to the media. He's trying to go in front of ABC, in front of 7, News Channel 7, to try to go and protest and raise stuff about his issue. But the press also, on the 20th, which was supposed to be our star day, that was supposed to be our big day of winning. Actually, the week before, we had Vocal come out. I think you were there for that, right? Yeah, we had
Vocal, your security, CCA. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I remember. On the 20th, none of the groups came out. It was just National Action Network again. They did have a bus, right? Yeah, which was cool. It was about the same number of people, but really, if you look at it, so Al Sharpton did spend some money on the program, which I guess I appreciate. But what's the Al Sharpton, instead of showing up on the 20th, I think he had a funeral to go to, and that was kind of I know that Nolan and Keith have seen my videos about the Jordan Neely situation, talking about how they only take care of the dead people. So that was you feel the irony right there, you know what I mean? Like I was telling them, they only care about the dead people on the critical day where everybody was built up thinking we was going to walk away as a winner. Then we're told that Al Sharpton going to go to a funeral. For me, that's okay. So sorry, man, that's just it's pretty emotional for us. Yeah. Oh well. We'll see. Maybe they'll come out good in the end, but just it's such a letdown on the 20th. Sorry, Chris, I can't hear you. Christopher Leon Johnson, hopefully he may be talking to his niece and stuff. He's a family man and respect him.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now. Go ahead. Thanks for letting me talk about that. Yeah, I just want to, since that came, I just want to, I didn't update them on that issue.
Hey, can you hear me now, brother?
I can hear you, yes.
I'm sorry. So yeah, speaking of Nolan Farrell, he was actually at the Astoria Business Owners Homeowners Association on I think Thursday.
Yeah.
I think it was Thursday Take Wednesday because he was out. So he wore a pink suit and he was trying. I think they were trying to attack because Cass was supposed to be there. She didn't show up because Cass didn't want to show up, like typical Cass. I have nothing against Cass, but she didn't want to show up to the debate, to the forum. So everybody was getting at her. So I think they were trying to attack. They were trying to attack Cass, but she wasn't there. So I'm gonna tell you what happened after the meeting. It was kind of hilarious because everybody knew that he was with Deviant Daniels. He was working on our campaign. Okay. So after the fact, there was a judge that's running for. There's a civil court judge that's running for. She ran for civil court judge named Sandra Perez. Sandra Perez, and she told him, like, you can't just be dwelling on this all the time. You gotta worry about other things.
What other things? You mean like she said that like Nolan Farrell should give up on seeking justice for his
not give up, but he just can't be dwelling on this all the time. He just can't be dwelling this all the time. That's what she told him. Off the record, she told him, I overheard it. She said he just can't be dwelling on it all the time.
I would be pissed. I would be pissed. Yeah, I did 10 years in prison for something I didn't do. When you're telling me just let it go, you let it go.
Yeah, I mean,
10 years, man. What?
Yeah, so just whatever with that. I mean, it's what it is.
Thanks for letting us know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was there. He was at the debate. It was a decent thing. Tiffany Gabbana, they trying to get rid of Tiffany Gabbana over there, so like that. So that's the thing with her. They trying to get rid of her. So
you know what, Tiffany Gabbana, we have it on record. You can check my videos. You see us 2 years ago. Tiffany Gabbana was at the event when we first, confronted Melinda Katz. A year later, I put the video out. Melinda Katz, we saw Tiffany Gabbana again. To this day, Tiffany Gabbana has not really come out in public support. What kind of alternative is this? Right? Yeah, like people in DSA, the memberships, they're starting to like me. You can't deny it. I'm starting to make connections over there with the populace and the leaders. I know you telling all the people, like all your little, shills over there trying to get rid of me. Okay? I can't do it. You know what I mean? I'm just too good to be canceled. So, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
So,
whatever you gotta do.
Once again, the people that back Tiffany Gabbana, I'm not saying that, her words are all bad, but look at the follow through. There's real victims right here. 10 and 32 years historical, wrongfully, what's she doing for them? She's not.
Basically nothing.
It's real disappointing, Tiffany.
Yeah, real disappointing.
I told her about it too. That's another reason I went to the event, to tell people about what's going on, to the Julie one.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get some progress on this. Oh my God. Anyways, thanks again for your coming on. You're always super quality, man. Anything else you want to address in this? You were talking about the DA races in all the boroughs. You said some judges and stuff. Any judges that you think are particularly important for this particular race, or that could change, things here in New York State, like policy changes? I don't think New York State's gonna, like, for example, like, legalize abortion and things like that. I just don't think that's gonna happen. So, right, what could these judges? What do you think the judges are? Do any of them have any significantly different positions from another?
Sorry about that, brother. Talking to my sister. So my sister, my niece, they talking about to leave. I had to head to the Bronx right now. So what were we saying? Yeah, but the DA races. Let's talk about that. I'm not going.
Yeah, I said you were breaking down all the DA races. I just said why the Queens one's important to me. But are there any DA races that are more important than the others? We were talking about some judge candidates, right? I know you have comprehensive knowledge of all the races, but which ones are really the ones to watch, or could change, right, the government? Or
I was going to talk about this right now. What races to watch? Let's talk about two races right now while we're here. People have headphones on, walking on the street, so I want to make sure that I don't hear any sound.
I can hear you fine.
So people on the show, I'm about to get back on the video, guys. So give me a second to put my headphones in, and I'm gonna get back. I'm about to walk on the street, head to the train station now. I had a little ankle sprain, but 1 second, guys. While we're here, thank God I'm still on the show. Give me a second. Headphones in. What's up? Start this. All right, cool.
So sorry about that, guys. So if you see me right now, I'm walking to my house, train station at the moment. So the races we should watch are the 43 race that covers Bensonhurst, the old AAPI designated district. So that covers Bensonhurst, Little Sunset Park, and Little Park Shoots at Bay. That's ran between Susan Zwang, what's her name? Susan Zwang
versus YE.
YE Chan, Stanley Mead, Stanley Ying, Vita LaBella, and Ying Tan. So that's a big district to watch. It's a purple district. Vita LaBella might win. If he wins the Republican primary, and he faces off against probably Wee Chan, or he might win. You never know, because he almost defeated Ivan Chu.
Yeah. I hope that I know it's super busy for them, but I hope that at least the candidates that do not win the election come onto the channel for an interview afterwards. I think it would be really cool to hear from them. A lot of candidates after the race, they may feel psychologically depressed, or they may actually, but that can help you differentiate between the people that are doing it for the cause versus for the title. So
yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that race. Yeah.
Me too.
But I think YE's kind of, we'll see. I think YE's going to get it, but just because she's an establishment person, she has the machine behind her. But I know I've been working with Susan, and good luck to her on that one. Hopefully we can make a difference somehow. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Any thing else?
Nothing else at all. This is beyond nothing else at all.
What is that shirt, by the way? I remember Acorn used to be a group, but you have Acorn with an S. Is that something?
Oh, Acorns. Yeah, Acorns is like a company that deal with with stocks and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's small money and make some money after. I got that shirt from a long time ago. There was an event I was at. I got that shirt from a long time ago. So.
Yeah. Acorn used to be actually a large NFP
nonprofit, corrupt nonprofit. Speaking of, they be a corrupt nonprofit that got busted for voter fraud and a lot of shenanigans. But Acorn, not the company right now. Acorn was a company that was in the 2000s, and they used to do a lot of stuff Make the Road New York does, and organizing and all the shenanigans they will do to get up, and they got a lot of government money. They got a lot of government money.
That's a lot of blueprint for the BS. So you want to see these organizations today, look at Acorn and be like, that's basically just modern day version of Acorn.
Yep. Make the Road New York is the worst. Make the Road New York is the main one. If you want to see the 2.0, Make the Road New York. That's 2.0.
Another interesting thing is, right, certain groups actually on my mailing list, right, they actually unsubscribed, right, like Vocal, which was interesting, right? You'd think that we were allies. A little strange. Make the Road, they read my newsletters on a regular basis, but they never respond, they never get involved. So I know they're watching. Let's see what's up. Make the Road.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they never do anything. They're just quietly watching and waiting. Okay, I'm watching y'all too. I'm asking to get involved, but y'all not. Well, let's see All right. Like I said before, Jen Gutierrez actually did respond. So I'm out here doing the legwork. I'm telling you who's responding, who doesn't respond, and maybe.
Hey, Jennifer, I love her. I love her as a person. I like to. Well, I love her as a person, man. But I love her, but she's fucking. But she need to stand up to certain things. Even might piss people off, and I think she don't have an issue because she's respected by the Hasidic community. She's respected by the Hispanics. She's respected by the blacks.
Behind her in order to be, a lot of these politicians and stuff, they also need, right? They can't do all the fight against the industry and the developers on their own. So people like yourself that are helping them, stay true to their ideals. It takes people like yourself, Christopher, for real, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
People, if you can't expect them to fight the world by themselves, that's not fair to them. So,
not fair, yeah. Yeah, no problem.
No doubt, man. So you was talking about the races, DAs and stuff like that. And anything else really? YE Chan, that was we're a couple days away. We'll see what's up. Yeah. I want to try to organize a little voting party in my neighborhood. We'll see if anybody shows up. But shout out if you're in the Ridgewood area, holler at your boy. We could do a little hang out beforehand, take some pictures. You could meet your boy DVL7. Chris, maybe you're doing something that day. I don't know. I encourage you to do the same thing in your own district, right? Have a little meeting with your friends, and it's a beginning. You won't start with Superman one day, but let's get some practicing for 24. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, cool.
All right, man. Anything else?
Nothing else at all.
Hey, man, I like you in the streets, man. Real streets activist right here. Let's go. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right,